Hello everyone, Charles Lane from Dual Lane Productions and the Bible Unbound. What we have for you today is going to be the Adventure Bible and the NASB 1995 text. Now, I reviewed the NIRV version of this previously on this channel, so this is going to be basically the same Bible, but in the NIRV, not in the NIRV, but in the NASB 95 text. So as we go through this, we'll look at it. It's a hardcover edition. So on the back, you see these nice little study helps that we'll go through. So open up, solidly constructed, very nice presentation page. I like this nice how to use this Bible, how you know you're a Christian, NASB Adventure Bible. General context, it has the Old Testament, New Testament listing, and there is an alphabetical listing of the books. And something to pay attention to is the nice little study helps that it has that's interspersed throughout this entire book. So you have the features of words to treasure, little vignettes. Did you know? People in Bible times, live it sections, life in Bible times, and these really good book introductions that have a nice layout. I'll get to this in just a moment here. So there's a subject index, different activities, the dictionary and concordance, full color pages, maps, where to start. These little color pages, I really like how they intersperse these and how they give little different vignettes that don't necessarily align with the book, but they're really good information in here. As a preface to the New American Standard Bible, which I would recommend reading, especially if you've never read the NASB. And there is an explanation of their general formatting and explanation of their abbreviations and markings. Opens up with the Old Testament. Goes to the nice general synopsis of this. I like how they laid this out. Nice, simple, easy to grasp. Who wrote the book? Why was this book written? What do we learn about God in this book? Who are the key people? When did this happen? Where did this happen? And what are some of these stories that are spread throughout this book? Now, it's nice visual overlay to help keep people engaged, especially young people engaged. Color scheme, usually it looks like green for the chapter headings and number, the main number for each section of the chapter. Words to treasure vignette, did you knows, and these livets that are spread throughout the book. Gives a nice visual overview to help engagement. I like some of the little vignettes and stories that these teach. Color scheme is really good. And I like when you're looking at the paper, it's not overly thin. There's little bits of bleed through, but it doesn't seem to distract from the reading too much. Yeah. I like the way that they did this. They broke this out and gave these things, make it a little bit more easier to comprehend. It looks to be the same style formatting as the NIRV version, where they did the vignettes. Skip forward a little bit farther in here, and I'll go a little bit farther, and we'll take a look and see what they did in the poetic sections. You run across these full color little breakdowns. So like this one breaks down the 10 Commandments in a more easier way for young people to understand. So things like, you may not love anyone more than you love God. Respect your parents, love them, and the Lord will reward you in your life. 8, do not take anything that doesn't belong to you. So it's a good kind of a simplification, but it helps to make it more palatable and more easier for young people to understand. Bible verses that you'd read when you feel, worried, scared, sad, tempted. Life in Bible times about the sling, how it's referenced in 1 Samuel. This is nice. I like the colors. I like the way they laid this out. And as we go farther, I was going to jump into the poetic sections. A little bit in Job. There was a section in Job I would have went to that has them both. The love passage for kids, yes. A nice take on 1 Corinthians 13. Love will stand in line and wait its turn. Love looks for the good in others. Love doesn't have to be first. Love never gives up. I like this. This is really well done. A 2-week journey and reading plan. Famous children of the Bible. As we get into the Psalms, which is what I was trying to go to, I like the color changes and notes for the headings. Psalm 5, prayer for protection from the wicked. Really nicely laid out poetic section. I like the engagement of keeping these little life and Bible times, words to treasures. It's very good. We'll go a little bit farther and we'll jump into the New Testament. Zechariah and Matthew. Okay, so this is a red letter version, and the red letters blend pretty well. So doesn't really clash too much with the green and red. The red is pretty consistent throughout. Very well done. Jump a little bit farther in the back. There's these other little vignettes. These are spread throughout the book as well. I like that. Wordplay on disciples. 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, Ephesians. So we'll go to the end. And let's see. So Revelation, it looks like ends on 1460. Not bad. So there's a topical index. Really straightforward. And a dictionary concordance. Nice simplified concordance. It is by no means exhaustive, but it's pretty good, especially for the type of Bible it is. Looks like there is a couple blank pages at the end. These looks like it would be good for notes. You don't see this in very many Bibles, where there's at least some type of paper that would be good for notes in the end. I like seeing more Bibles do that, so that way, especially on a Bible that has very thin margins, so that way you could take a couple of notes if you wanted to. And we go into their maps. Good, clean maps, a little bit thicker paper. Works well. I mean, for a children's Bible that's Smith's own, good, clean, well-constructed Bible, I would definitely recommend this to somebody that is looking for a Bible to use for their youth program. So, yeah.